about 4 months ago, they decided to take down the birch trees in the back reserve and to make way for developments. And I was quite distraught by it and thought I wanted to do an ode to the birch trees, and so decided I'd do a series about it. So I was basically taught as a conceptual artist, and although I spent most of my life trying to undo the damage, the thought process is still the same. So basically, for example, the birch tree series, the concept was the felling of healthy mature trees in urban developments. My painting process is a three-part thing. So I'll focus on the technical, I'll focus on the emotional content, the way I communicate, and the overall concept. So New Zealand has completely changed my art, mainly because I was struck with the raw power of nature here in New Zealand, giving me a sense of wonder, awe as a new child, discovering the world for the first time. Being able to see the Milky Way at night, just the raw, it's almost like a violence, the waves against the jagged black rocks, and it's just, you really feel the connectedness to the universe. In terms of technical terms, I'm trying to bring forward the language of paint. I'm trying to get my pieces to be contemporary. And so that means that I will see what's happening out there. I'll listen to the dialogue online, basically because I'm on the Kapiti Coast, so for me it's Instagram and whatnot, and see what people are coming up with solutions for painting, and then I'll extrapolate from things that are being produced and see if I can't push it a bit forward somewhere else, take it to a level that hasn't been done before and make it more unique and my own. And in terms of my own practice, I've been really interested in making the pieces more sculptural. I really like the sense of depth, as if you were standing in front of this 2D canvas and really felt like you could enter it. That I'm interested, plus the translucency, creating glass-like worlds. So basically just that sense of depth. A thing I've noticed is that a lot of artists are doing that as well, as translucency, and I'm wondering if it's society not demanding more transparency from its government, from its media, and artists are reflecting that. So then we go into the emotional part. I need to have some passion for my series before I engage into them, otherwise the works are lifeless. Artists that have influenced me, I would say Dill Hildebrand was one in the past 4 years. I really love his exploration of the window, using his art as a window, and that kind of pushed my art to go in that direction as well. Cecily Brown is another one I can think of. I think just the fact that she's a woman and she did very erotic type paintings and very bullshy, I love that element to her, that she had the guts to go with big paintings, and her work is quite, although it's figurative, it's very fresh and passionate. There's a part of the intuitive brain that takes over. As soon as I've got everything else sorted in terms of composition and whatnot, the intuitive part of my brain takes over with the emotions, and then that will influence color palette, movement in the painting, brush strokes, and it will create more of a sense of, the passion will kind of hopefully transfer through to the viewer. So I guess my first series ever was Mother and Child in '98 in Vancouver. Then I moved on to more Vancouver abstracts as well, and I was asked to do commissions, and then I was stuck doing commissions for quite a number of years, personal ones, corporation ones, until finally I decided, no, I want to do my own thing again. My art education started in secondary school. I went to a specialized school for the arts. Then I went to Concordia University in Montreal in fine arts, and also took conceptual art then at Ottawa University. So when I got to the Wirral Peninsula in the UK, there wasn't anything really going in terms of arts. There were a few little halls that were doing exhibitions, and I thought, well, there's a need for an arts trail. And so I founded one and organized it for a few years, basically to expose my own art, but also to highlight all the fantastic talent that was on the peninsula. And it's still going strong today. I'm part of a group called Mirica Arts Group, and we do a lot of exhibitions around the world that tackle human rights. 2012, my husband found work in New Zealand and we emigrated here. Two things happened. My art basically took off in a whole different direction. I was doing realism at the time, birds and all sorts of things that were inspiring me in the Liverpool landscape. And then when news came that we were going to uproot, I did a new series called Uprooting. And basically the series kind of depicted how it was to be in transition. So I started to splatter paint and throw things in a very sculptural space basically. So you got a sense that the paint splatters were suspended between land and, you know, two lands basically. So, and that's how I felt. So the paints were representing me. I've done quite a few series. I've done A World in Crisis, Night, of Cities and Jungles, which went from 2014 to 15. Emotional Landscape, where I delved into the human psyche. But my biggest one was The Essence of a Landscape, and Essence of a Landscape is really what propulsed me to what I'm doing now, basically. In that 1 year, I did 136 pieces, and that led to Raw Bush Glass Landscape, which was more, where I was focusing more on the translucency. So my own progressions and my own developments inspire me, and that's why I surround myself with my art. When I was approached by Ubuntu project leader in Seoul to do a project to help feed the North Korean children, I said yes please. So I sent some pieces there for an auction that raised $150,000 in one night. Last year I did an online exhibition, and a dealer from Vancouver approached me, said she would like to carry my work, she would like to sell my work, and she was doing an exhibition in Hong Kong and brought some of my work over there with her. So early 2016 I found out a close friend was dying of cancer, and my work suddenly went black. I did a monochromatic series because of it, and around that time David Bowie also died. And, you know, there was all sorts of things happening early 2016 that just came together, and my work just took kind of sidetracked for a little bit. Now I'm about to engage my new series. I've almost finished the Birch Tree series, and with this new series I'm hoping to include all the figurative, everything I've learned in the past 20 series, and combine them in a whole and do something great.